express my gratitude on behalf of the University of Oxford and Linacre College for this extraordinary initiative. Like Alan, I was blown away by the determination and efficiency of Talha, Haroon and Adil in getting this off the ground. It was a privilege to share some of my experience in trying to raise funds for scholarships at Oxford. I think in the last 12 months you have learned every lesson that I could possibly have taught you, and I should now be sitting at your feet and learning how on earth you raise funds so successfully in such a short period of time. It's great news that this initiative is off the ground because it will strengthen those ties between Oxford and Pakistan, those important historic ties. And I think most importantly, it will encourage more brilliant minds from Pakistan to come and contribute to our great university. And it will give that great university an opportunity to access Pakistan's extraordinarily rich culture, history, and scientific brilliance. I often compare the University of Oxford to the International Space Station because it really is a global facility, not a British facility. It's a facility in which the best minds from all over the world come together to discover knowledge for the benefit of humanity. And I think that analogy is perhaps even more apt in the concept of access, because there are now, with the advent of Blue Origin and Virgin Galaxy, opportunities for youngsters to dream about getting into space. And yet, for many young people, even the most brilliant, they would regard the chance of getting into Oxford as a ridiculous fantasy. It's only available to a very select few. Well, if we look at the situation in relation to Pakistan, I think Oxford has a lot of work to do. And we've seen some of the statistics already. I noted that actually if students at Oxford were present in the proportion that they're present in the global population, there will be 10 times more Pakistani PhD students at Oxford than there currently are. The major barrier to students coming to Oxford is scholarships, and I'm absolutely delighted that the Oxford Pakistan programme is tackling that particular problem. For those of you with $55 million to spare, you can buy yourself a ticket to fly into space for 18 hours. Or alternatively, you could endow 78 PhD studentships in perpetuity at the University of Oxford. I leave the choice about which would have the greater lasting impact to you. But I hope that what the Oxford Pakistan initiative has done is to mean that it's not just being an astronaut that can become a realisable dream for brilliant minds in Pakistan, but actually a future at Oxford could be too. The university has recognised the importance of bringing in scholars from all over the world in developing the access initiatives that are currently available. And Samina Khan from the university here has been driving forward those initiatives at an undergraduate level, and I'm sure she would be delighted to talk to you about the things that she is doing there. At a graduate level, the university still has a lot of work to do. If you look at the social profile of graduate students at Oxford University, I perhaps unflatteringly compare us sometimes to a Swiss finishing school. Our university is dominated by those who come from wealthy professional families. And what that means is that we're not accessing a huge pool of talent out there that doesn't believe it can afford, or that doesn't feel that Oxford is socially the place where it wants to be. To tackle that, we have started a number of initiatives. Perhaps the most important is our Unique Plus initiative, which brings students from non-conventional educational backgrounds. I might just break away to tell you that actually more than 50% of the students who come to Oxford to study for a PhD come from one of 8 universities. So bringing students from non-conventional backgrounds to Oxford for a research internship over the summer, to experience what it's like to be part of a team, to be part of one of those extraordinary teams tackling some of the global problems. Another aside, Andrew Pollard, who will be a familiar name to many of you who've been keeping up with the news for the last few years, tells me that of the 12 key members of the team who've been working on developing the COVID vaccine, there are 8 different nationalities amongst those 12 members. Yeah. Diversity isn't just something that's actually desirable from an ethical perspective, but it actually really does drive the capacity to tackle problems in imaginative and innovative ways. So in addition to our research internships, we've also set up a new Academic Futures programme. At the moment that's focused on black and black mixed background students from the UK, and we're providing this year 10 full scholarships for those students to come and do PhDs. But our next step is to engage with the British Pakistani community. And there I know there is an enormous step to be taken, because at the moment, as has already been pointed out, they are one of the worst represented ethnic groups amongst our British students. And then finally we have a programme, a Graduate Endowment Matching Scheme, where the university is essentially putting its money where its mouth is and offering a very generous match to any philanthropist who would like to endow a scholarship. And I hope that in the longer term, Talha, although at the moment you're very, very sensibly focusing on the achievable and the short term, I hope that in the longer term we can cement this relationship by endowing some prestigious scholarships for Pakistani scholars to come and join our university each and every year. Thank you all again very much.